So, Bioframe Snap. What is that then? What is it all about? Well, this is a hacked version of Bioframe Outpost that is meant to answer the question, can we take an existing game and without spending much time or money, hardly any in fact, without no additional code, turn it into a very different game? And is that worth doing? The answer to that is yes, we found out. It took very little time indeed, a few hours, a few afternoons in the weekend in spare time. And the premise is very simple. The original Bioframe takes place in an extremely dangerous environment. Creatures attack you constantly, and you use photography to learn more about their behavior, to keep yourself safe and to pit them against each other. Now, we didn't actually change that much. What we did do, and it does make it feel very, very different, instead of having this conflict-based ecosystem, we made it cozy. And the way we did that is really quite simple. And we just made it so that most creatures no longer want to kill you. That allows us to focus more on puzzle elements and for people to take their time playing the game and basically make it a cozy photography game. So we're leaning deeper into the photography, into like a calm, more friendly play style, but there are still some dangers. So, for example, we still have all the ecosystem manipulation, like I can pick up these berries that I just picked up. And here we go, butterfly mites. These used to attack you mercilessly. That's no longer the case. You can still manipulate them though. So in this case, give them some food, take a photo, and you learn, there you go, that this is the kind of food that they eat. Now the trick is that they may not attack you, but they still have other creatures they can attack or be afraid of. They still have deep interactive ecosystem elements to them. It's just not all hostile to you. Now, this doesn't mean you can't get hurt. You can. I'll get to that in a second. Here's another thing we've done. This guy here, let's have a look. The Flying Defender. Now, this was an extremely aggressive enemy. The moment he spotted you, he would come after you and try to shock you to death. Murder drone, flying murder drone. Well, that is no longer true either. In fact, let's go say hi. Hello. He wants my food. So he's following me around now like a little buddy. And what happens if I take this little buddy and I introduce him to my other friends? Well, you surely can go around there. Come on, there we go. There. Right, he survived. But he's taken care of a particular number of other creatures in his typical, somewhat aggressive way. Now with the butterflies, that is not necessarily a good outcome because I can use butterflies for my own reasons, and I'm not going to go into that right now. But there will still be things around that are actually a problem for me or are dangerous. So now I've got my personal little guard. Let me go somewhere and show you what I mean. I'm going to go over here. This is all fine now. This would have been impossibly dangerous before, but I can freely explore. However, there are still things like these plants here, which respond, as you can see, to vibration. They don't know that I'm no threat to them, and they just instinctively shoot their little stun pods at anything that moves, as you can see now. Oh, I've been stunned for a long time now. I may have to restart this somehow. Either way, the point is, there are still things in the world that can inconvenience you. And there are outright dangers as well. Now, let me get out of this. I'm going to pause this recording for a sec and get back to it. There, I just reloaded the last save point. Clearly there's still a few bugs in my new Bioframe Snap game, but never mind that right now. Let me show you something else. We are going to go up here. There. Let's go here. Up higher and higher. Right. These guys. They are still my enemy. As you can see, they still go after me. And if they grab me, there we go. It's still game over for me. Well, it would be if I hadn't turned death off in this particular playback video, but there you go. So the trick becomes, you have a lot more time, a lot less stress, but you still have obstacles to overcome. So you still need to photograph things. And that means you also still need to create situations in which the creatures respond to their environment, so you can photograph them in the different states that they show. So in this case, there was a butterfly mite eating some food. There you go, he's hungry. I'll take a photo. And here we go, butterfly mite. We already knew this, of course, but it is an example where the photography still matters, because now that I know that the food that they eat, I can still be faced with puzzles where I need to collect certain types of food, of resources, and use them to manipulate the creatures around me. So, for example, in this case, with those butterfly mites, if there was a nefarious creature nearby with whom they have a bad relationship, I could distract them by throwing some berries at the other creature and they would go and attack. So yeah, so that is the basis really of what we're doing here. It's a friendlier game, leaning more into the puzzle elements, collaboration with other species, and the coziness of it all, like these guys here. These are my friends, blue butterflies. Now here's something I can do. I have a fire extinguisher, and when I freeze them, oh, I think I've got the maximum number now. Yeah, here we go. I add them to my inventory. So rather than attacking me and killing me, I can carry them with me. And I'm going to show you another example of where this might work to my benefit. Where shall I go first? How about what's a good place to show you? Oh, I know, just a bit further ahead. Oh, let me release one, actually. There you go. And if I photograph it, here we go. You can see that it is quite peaceful, but it will be useful when it comes to attacking other creatures, frightening other creatures. And indeed, there are further ways in which they can be a great benefit. After I release them, if they're still okay, I can take them with me. Here's a good example. These aliens here, I already showed you that they actually can be quite dangerous. In this case, one of them is fine. If there's lots of them, I will be infected with an alien disease. But if I release my lovely little friendly butterflies, here they are, they become a personal shield. Now, here we go. They will prioritize attacking my shield over me. I'm completely safe. And if any of these friendly butterflies were to get infected, I can free them again with my fire extinguisher. Freeze them, pick them up, take them with me. Yes, they are. So the whole basis of the game is not so much changed, it's more how we play with the interactive ecosystem. The tone is different, it's much friendlier. The photography is still just as important, but it's less stressful. And the next step will be to make some changes to the levels and more of the creature behaviors to take even more advantage of this change. And I will do some follow-up videos to show you how that progresses. So thanks for that. Now, as a slight bit of bonus content that may or may not make it in this video, I will show you exactly how simple it is, which is this thing here. This is a perfect example of a data-driven game design. We have a spreadsheet, target priorities, that lists all AI entities in the game, and in this you can choose how it responds to other entities. So in this case, if you take, let's see, the butterfly mite, one of the creatures we just talked about, you can see that it ignores the player. This is commented out. It will attack certain creatures. It will see certain things as food. It will be scared of other things, like this particular thing here, this spit frog. And I could just change that. If I wanted to make this butterfly think of me as food, I would add myself to this list and turn myself into food. It's odd, but it works. In fact, that's how we created those friendly blue butterflies you just saw, or that defender drone, now being your personal little attack drone. Well, it used to actually attack you, but now it thinks I'm food. I changed some other files elsewhere to make sure that it wasn't ever actually able to attack me, so it just follows me around hoping it can eat me, but it can't. So that's how simple it is. And I think it's an interesting lesson in game development to take something you've already made, and rather than moving on, seeing if you can use it again in a different way. This might become a mod, it might become a prototype for a new game. This is not decided yet, but it hasn't taken any real effort at all to make these quite fundamental changes, and I have to say, it's a lot of fun. So with that, I will leave you now, and hopefully we'll tell you more about Bioframe Snap in future videos. Thanks again, see you then, bye.